Hello everyone. So with this video, we will be covering everything of organizational behavior. At the end of this video, you will know what the concept of whole organizational behavior is and what are the factors which we should know for understanding organizational behavior and how it is important for us. So the last topic of unit 5 and the last topic of organizational behavior which we are going to learn through this topic through this video is the empowerment and quality of work life. So let's get started. So the reasons for reaching a target or getting a success can be hard work, right? And commitment too. But the most important factor for success is empowerment. If an individual has enough resources, knowledge, skill, money, position, then he is empowered to do anything. Also, the environment where he works must have all facilities to work. In such a situation, he can work happily and reach his targets in his career. This unit specifically discusses about empowerment and quality of life. So let's start with empowerment. What does empowerment mean? So empowerment is really necessary to take decisions and complete a work and is really essential for fulfilling the organizational objectives. This is a really vital tool which for organizational success, and every organization depends on human resources irrespective of the level of hierarchy. So completion of daily targets, satisfying the customers, getting more profit, return on investment, other important things which an organization deems as its main purpose of business, is mainly based on the competency of human resource. So empowerment is the competency of the human resource which helps him to deliver the best. So empowerment, what it results in is high motivation, less attrition, and we've talked about motivation and attrition previously in other videos, and it also depends on high productivity and high service quality. Empowerment can also be really termed as a process by which an individual's belief in his competency is reinforced. And people like scientists define empowerment as a cognitive state of perceived control, perceived competence, and goal internalization. So the practices like delegation of work, job designing, and job enrichment, etc., like they help to empower the employers. So now there are three kinds of empowerments. Firstly, we'll talk about psychological empowerment. So psychological empowerment is a set of cognitions shaped by the work environment, and it can also be related to self-esteem, locus of control, which serve as a basis for the psychological empowerment. So what is self-esteem? It's the value or dignity which an individual has about himself, and it means that I believe in myself and I have some worth. But locus of control is the belief that an individual is responsible for his or her actions, and rather than to be responsible for the external environment. So when an individual feels that he is competent enough to complete a task, he is empowerment, means it helps him to cross all hurdles and reach his target. He will go ends and means. This is called psychological empowerment, and this is related to intrinsic motivation or self motivation, which is in the mindset of an individual. So according to Spitzer, meaning, competence, self determination, and impact develop the psychological empowerment, which is the basic for intrinsic motivation. I'll give you an example. Like women in villages, there's this group where we've learned in the previous video, self-help groups. They form these groups for financial stability, and then which helps them become independent and empowered. So that is also a kind of empowerment which they get because they believe in themselves that together they can do anything. So they do it and they go ends and means to achieve whatever they want to, right? So our next empowerment, what we'll be talking about is organizational empowerment. So organizational empowerment of an employee is developed by the set of management practices or policies adopted by the organization. What the managers do is that they delegate authority and responsibility to the employees for decision making, and in short, the legitimate power by the position is shared to the employees to give them autonomy to decide what their own courses of action. So organizational empowerment, can be seen as a set of human resource management practices adopted by the organization rather than looking at it from a perspective of power sharing. Okay, so empowerment is delegating responsibility and sharing information across levels of hierarchy in the organization. So organizational empowerment is also, composed of dynamic structural framework and clear guidelines given by the organization, etc. So what employees do for their like it helps employees to get empowered, and it helps them to do their work assignments. For example, vision, mission, and objectives of an organization must be clearly stated to the employees, and control of work decision relates to the participation of employee in work related activities, where they access the inputs and select teammates, and goal setting is done. So fluidity in information sharing is the openness in getting the information related to the organization. So, what is the empowerment process? So, the organization should always initiate the empowerment process when it realizes that the employees are not empowered. What this will do, this will be reflected by reduction in organizational performance. And empowerment process consists of 5 stages. So, what are these 5 stages? Firstly, as shown in the table alongside, the 5 stages are: firstly, you have to identify the powerlessness in the employees. Second, we have to employ management strategies for empowering them. Then, what we'll do is we'll find sources of efficacy information, self efficacy basically, and then we'll empower. Then the employees will become empowerment, and then they'll realize the income outcomes of empowered employees. So, how do we identify powerlessness in employees? So, the organization must identify the reasons for the lack of power or confidence in employees, or like any higher role, which is the organizational or supervisory type role. They are the factors responsible, mostly they're responsible for powerlessness. So bureaucratic culture, authoritative leadership, job design, information access, non-access to inputs, no recognition being given, lack of performance given rewards, nothing to push them forward and everything, unachievable targets. These are some of the factors which result in powerlessness. Then, what are the management strategies? So, management should follow certain strategies to empower the employees, like participative management, performance-based rewards, decentralization, access to resources, job enrichment are some of the management strategies for employee empowerment. Then we go to sources of self-efficacy information. The employees, they must realize their empowerment. So, management must provide opportunities to make them realize their self-efficacy, like vicarious experience, verbal persuasion. These are like some ways through which like we can make the employees understand their self-efficacy. The fourth stage is the empowered employees. Here, what happens is the employees feel confident and they believe that their competency will give them rewards. And expect like here is where the expectancy theory of motivation is applied, where the theory states that the belief in the efforts will create expectation in the rewards for their behavior, and employees complete their works, achieve their target, and realize the benefits, and this will be sustained as a law as long as the organization supports the employee empowerment. Lastly, the fourth stage, lastly, we then next what we come to is, yeah, sorry for that. So next we'll come to quality of work life, right? So scientific management theory, evoked this principle of applying science in doing work. This theory has defined the economic man, which means workers are motivated only by money. This theory created a revolution in management, which is the starting period of management. But later, as we have discussed earlier, in the historical developments of organizational behavior, that Elton Muir's and Hawthorne studies showed a different perspective of work performance. But later, Elton Muir, the human relations view of management, showed and opened up the human relations view of management as another perspective. From that comes quality of work life. So quality of work life is a component of work environment. The concept of quality of work life emerged in the 1960s when it was applied in big companies like General Motors. So it is what is work quality of work life? I have given some points. It's exactly that. We can read it, we can talk about it and understand it. It is the prosperity of the employee which yields job satisfaction, empowerment, and commitment. Quality of work life is also based on satisfaction of needs of the employees as per year scientists. It is how the employees perceive their mental and physical well-being. It is also the balance between work life and personal life of the employees. And quality of work life is mainly the satisfaction of lower and higher order needs of the employees. Like, I'll give you some examples, what the pay an employee is getting, the safety, the recognition, appreciation, their free time, what they're learning from the job, their career opportunities, their creativities, their enhancement of their personality, etc. These should be met by the organization for the well-being of the employees. Then the organization should also take care of the employee needs for improving job satisfaction and performance and reducing attrition. So quality of work life is also a component of empowerment only. And autonomy of work, recognition, appreciation, training, career growth, rewards are some components of quality of work life. So the benefits of quality of work life are job satisfaction, organizational commitment, organizational performance, and employee retention. So this brings us to the end of the last topic of the last unit, which is the end of organizational behavior in this course. So to summarize this last topic, I'll tell you that empowerment is the competency of human resource which helps him to deliver the best. Empowerment can be analyzed on two perspectives: organizational and psychological empowerment, and meaning, competence, self-determination, and impact are components of psychological environment. Right. Organizational empowerment is consisted of dynamic structural framework, control of workplace decisions, and fluidity in information sharing. Empowerment process consists of five stages. It begins with identifying the powerlessness in employees, followed by employing management strategies for empowering employees, sources of self-efficacy information, empowered employees, and the last stage is realizing the outcomes of empowered employees. So quality of work, and then lastly, the quality of work life is the well-being or prosperity of the employees. So now, finally, after summarizing this video too, we have come to the exact ultimate end of this course of organizational behavior. We have completed all the 5 units. You can visit and revisit these videos later for whatever clarity you need, because we have also provided the materials here in these videos. So I hope you all have understood what has been taught and made you understand through these videos, because and I hope it has been an enriching learning experience for everyone. So thank you, and keep learning and happy learning.